Oh. Good morning, and welcome to WWN. With the coronavirus still raging through the nation, our breakfast team are all self-isolating from home. But in times like these, we all need to pull together and work through the negativity. So, here's our very own Steve Hamilton to guide you through a very different breakfast show.
Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show. I'm Steve Hamilton and I'm here to try and guide you through the morning. As you know, we're doing things a little different here at WWN as all of our team are self-isolating at home. This unprecedented time has called for drastic measures and we're all trying to do our bit to stay safe. Right, the format of the show is pretty much the same as normal, but as I've said, everyone is working from home, using whatever device they have to bring you all their regular items. But this is now a show without all the usual bells and whistles that you're used to, and all those swishy things that go across the bottom of the screen. There'll be no researchers, no auto cue, no Fred in the gallery whispering in our ears. Some will be reading from scraps of paper, notice boards, and their phones. It's all pretty basic stuff, so bear with us as a lot of our team have had to do things for themselves, like writing their own material. Things well below them. I'm only joking. Or am I? Here's Margaret Hooper with all the latest headlines.
Good morning. Lies, 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 all lies. Or are they? Fed them on a daily basis, bushfires, wildfires, global warming and floods. It's too hot, it's too cold, and the trains are late. We can't trust the government, the opposition, the banks, or the guy who runs the garage on Victoria Street. The football's off, the tennis is off, and I've never given a hoot about golf. You smack that ball and you walk for miles just to smack it again. Makes no sense. That's all the latest news. Here's Marcia Chatwick with more stuff that I tend to agree with.
No good technology news this week. Which is such a shame. Because I really like that kind of stuff and I get paid to talk about it. We're being set up for a purge, you know. In real life, people. You know, there'll come a time when everybody is at home. And that's what they want, you see. Because then they'll enforce the chip. You won't be able to leave your home unless you have the chip inserted. No. Money will lose value. All of your wealth, what's left of it, will be uploaded onto the chip inside your brain. You'll be a walking, talking currency. Bit like Bitcoin. You won't be able to go anywhere on this plate without that chip. Yeah, that's right. I said plate. Now don't let them have you thinking we live on a globe. No. It's all part of the games to control your mind. They'll be telling you we went to the moon next, or that Eurovision really happens. Look, just join me next week when hopefully we'll be talking about robotic sex toys and why my neighbour walks around naked at 2 a.m. in his garden.
Well, that was Marcia Chadwick with all the latest tech news. Sort of. It's hard to get out at the moment, but let's see how the weather's doing with Kath Drake.
Good morning! Well, it's bloody freezing. My heating's broken. Well, I'm down to my last toilet roll. Back to you, Steve.
Well, you stay safe now, Kath. And now here's Michael Critchley with a sport roundup.
Go away. There is no sport. It's all off. Everything's off. I've got no paracetamol and I've got a headache. Back to the studio.
Oh dear, some hot lemonade for you, Mike. Well, it's that time of morning when we're all itching to know what the future has in store for us. You know, is it bleak out there, or are there a few rays of sunshine? Now here's Farley Denton with a look into our stars.
Hi, Steve. Yes, we're doing things a little bit differently this week. A little bit out of the ordinary, out of people's comfort zones. But I'd like to say that the wonderful public are taking it upon themselves to look after each other. You can just feel the love that's radiating everywhere. So along with that, I've decided to do things a little bit differently with the stars and how I'm using them this week. Now, every individual out there takes their readings in a different way. You can take what you like from the stars, and you can throw what you don't away. The same thing came up time after time. Didn't matter if you were a Virgo or a Pisces or anywhere in between. Change. Now, the world we live in is going through change at the moment, so you could take that in a bad way. I don't blame you, but not this guy. I took this as an opportunity to do a few little jobs around the house. The other is the phrase, bringing darkness into light. Kept coming up. Scary for some, but not for me. No negative vibes here. So I decided I would change the light fixture in the kitchen. Darkness into light. It all made sense. It was such an enjoyable experience, so much so that I actually got a little carried away and fitted a couple extra plug sockets too. So, I want you to take change, darkness into light, and use them in a positive way, just like I have this morning. Have a wonderful day out there, people. Stay safe. We'll see you on the other side. Oh shit. Maybe it was light into darkness. Can anyone change a fuse around here?
Electrifying stuff, eh? I'm just off to go and feed the cat. But do stay with us, because here's all the local news from where you are.
Buses are off, trains are off, airports are closed. I did see 2 cars pass my house earlier though. One was a blue BMW and the other one was a Corsa, I think. He flew past. I also saw an ambulance, but I didn't know where it was going. I do hope it's not going to Brenda at number 81. She's a bit wobbly on her legs. Anyway, I might go out on my bike a bit later, but don't worry, I won't be coming into contact with anybody, and I will be wearing my new mask that I bought from eBay before all this madness started. I'm Tracy Slater with your Traffic and Travel. Have a brilliant day. Goodbye.
We're going over to our senior correspondent, Danielle Wilkes, with some breaking news.
Incredible breaking news here, Steve. My brother-in-law, Barry, left 6 tins of baked beans by the front door. I've just rung him and he said he walked into Asda this morning at 7:15, just as the delivery of beans was arriving by lorry. Apparently Barry pretended he didn't really want the beans so as not to draw attention to himself. He just picked up a Heinz 4-pack, put it in his basket carefully and then added 4 cans of Foster's lager. The cashier apparently knew what he was up to but just smiled at him as he paid. He got out safely with no fuss, but Barry says he's never been so scared in his entire life. They were fighting in the aisles last night over wet wipes. World's gone mad, Steve.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm in the mood for some entertainment news. Let's go over to Amanda Sledge with all the latest gossip from Hollywood.
It's shut, Steve. Everything's shut. Hollywood is essentially on holiday. And if you're going to Disney this summer, they've gone home and they're not taking the mickey. Oh, it's as boring as hell here, Steve. Nobody's given out any form of gossip whatsoever and it's getting on me bloody nerves. I can't live without gossip. And my boyfriend's got a cough, so he's self-isolating in another part of the house. I'm leaving food outside the door. It isn't normal. Idris Elba's got it. The virus, not my boyfriend's food. I'm just going to sit in and watch Netflix this afternoon. Back to you, Steve. Oh, wait. How's Mary, by the way? She's still off the booze?
Well, yes. Right, moving swiftly on. A lot of people worry about money at a time like this. I know I do. With a world economy that is so unstable right now, what does the average person have to do to stay safe? Well, here's Nigel Harvester from our popular Cash Cow program with some very, very good advice.
This isn't going to end well. No one has made a fan big enough to deal with the amount of excrement coming our way. Scare tactics? You're damn right. You should be scared because the next few months are going to make 2008 look like a baby shower. My advice, keep your cash At home, don't use banks. Sellotape it in your kitchen drawer or underneath the drawer. Do you know where I put mine? I put mine in the bottom of a litter tray. The cat litter tray, because who's going to rummage through that? Nobody. And I don't even have a cat. Be creative. That's how you do it. That's how we're going to win this battle of wits. Me, I put my hard-earned wad in the cat litter tray. Because at times like these, people might get a bit crazy. They might turn up at your house at 2 a.m. and demand your hard-earned wad. Maybe with a weapon. That could be tough for elderly people who can't defend themselves and their money as well as I can. So in the next episode of Cash Cow, I'll be showing you how over 80s can defend themselves and their savings using SAS tactics and mysterious movements made by ancient samurai.
Well, great advice there, as usual, from Nigel and the Cash Cow team. So, what's going on at the multiplexes? With all the latest cinema releases now, it's Claire Kilbride.
Hi, I'm Claire Kilbride, and welcome to the Cinema Show. The Odeon is closed. The Cinerama is closed. All my local cinemas are closed. It's hell. I've had to sit in watching old movies on Netflix, and I'm a flicker. Unless I'm sat in the theatre watching the big screen, my mind just tends to wander. I've watched the first 10 minutes of about 20 different films this week already. I then just switch over to something else. I'm consumed by reruns of Pointless. Crazy. I'll be down in a minute, Mum. I'm doing my review show. Just put it in the microwave. I really need to get my own place. So, I've watched nothing new this week, but I will try and watch something this afternoon if I can. Unless you want me to do reviews of Tenable and Doctors, I'm Claire Kilbride, and you've been watching the Cinema Show.
Well, let's hope Claire gets her own place very soon. Right, now, we're going over live now to Dr. Gilbert Koto, who has some up-to-date news on the virus. Dr. Koto, what can you tell us? Dr. Koto?
Good evening.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Well, we seem to be having a few technical difficulties there. We'll go back to him later. But now, instead, let's go over to Melinda Peters, who's been talking to the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, Matt Hancock. What did he have to say, Melinda?
He said nothing. He said absolutely nothing because he wasn't in. Yes, no, that's right. He wasn't in. That might not be quite true. Look, here's the thing, Steve. I couldn't be bothered to go round. When this crap all started, I said to myself, Melinda, your country needs you. You will do your job to the best of your ability. But the buses are all off around here now. And do you have any idea how long it takes me to get my expenses back? Bugger that. No. So I called his office instead. No, I didn't really call his office either. Look, here's the thing. Why should I be chasing around after him? And you know it's only going to be the same old claptrap. My extraordinary team are working their very hardest in unprecedented times. Yada, yada, yada. Kona! Hi! I've just been to Home and Bargain. Yeah. Factor 30. 2 for 1. Okay, love. Bye. Bye. Oh, where was I? Yeah, so it's all a bit pointless, isn't it really, Steve? Same old bullshit lines. I tell you what, I will see if I can get Boris tomorrow before I sort the kids out. Oh, okay. Emily, put the cat down!
I'd like to apologise for the sound on Melinda's interview there. It was obviously just as bad as her reporting techniques. Hopefully, with some better reporting, is Mary Dunlop with Paper Talk.
Well, I'm sure today's papers are full of Armageddon-fueled stories to scare us all to death. I'm scared anyway, I don't need to read about it. Plus, I don't want to go down to the corner shop because you don't know what you're going to catch out there. One breath and it'll kill you, they said. Plus, I don't like the look of that fella that delivers the papers. I don't like he washes his hands, or any other part of his body for that matter. And do you know how many people have touched those papers before they get to us? Horrific thought. No, better to be safe than sorry. I've got my TV and my radio for my updates. Never run out of loo roll. Got a couple of copies of The Sun. Ooh, stinks.
Thanks, Mary. Now let's see what the stock markets are doing on the other side of the world with Sarah Craven.
Hi, Steve. Well, Wall Street trades higher today after an amazing market rally, and I could really care less because we're all going to die. I've seen Outbreak, I've seen The Stand, I know exactly what's going on here. And who cares about shares at a time like this? Pasta! That's what I care about. Pasta! Nobody has any pasta. You know why? Because the selfish Italians are keeping it all to themselves. Egoistas, I tell you. I've got a date on Friday and it'll probably be called off. Brian will be taking care of his mom at home. She's 89. I think she can look after herself. He's got dreamy eyes. I met him at bowling last week. Well, Dow Jones is up. Back to you, Steve.
Now, with world travel at a total standstill, what can you do with the kids this summer to keep them quiet? Here's Jill Somerset with some much-needed advice.
Well, I don't actually have any kids, Steve. So I don't know why you've linked me to this item. What I do know is that I'd be pulling my bloody hair out looking for things to do with the little bastards. This is why I never had any bloody kids. Like my holidays. On my own. Maybe with a few friends. Spain. Turkey, perhaps. Drinking, relaxing on the beach. Work bloody hard and I deserve a break just on my own. Me time. And yes, people may say I travel all around the globe with my job on the travel show. But that's work. You think I like that all the time? Got bitten on the arse by a snake in Brazil once. Bloody hurt, I'll tell you. No, not as glamorous as it looks. At the moment, I'm bored shitless. This time last week I was in Malaysia. Now, can't even walk down the garden to my shed. As for the kids, why not let them play out? Did me no harm. Back to you, Steve.
Time for some thoughts now from Dominic Bradley and his thoughts of the day.
Hello, I'm Dominic Bradley and welcome to another edition of The Thoughtful Day.
No title sequence, Dom. Tell us your thoughts.
Thoughts for today. I was in my local supermarket last night, watching crazed shoppers storming about the place like frenzied zombies, searching out human flesh before the forthcoming Armageddon. And then it occurred to me, why are they different to me? Why am I not doing what they're doing? What makes a person fight another person over 4 rolls of toilet paper? Do their brains work differently to mine? Maybe they weren't brought up as well, with manners and kindness and goodness inputted into me from an early age. But they can't all be bad people. Then it hit me. Short-term fear. They're all scared, afraid. It really is that simple. They're not afraid of dying from something in the air. They're afraid of dying not being surrounded by their comfort items, their so-called necessities. So how was I different? Simple. I did my shopping the day before. And my cellar, it's full to the rafters with food and toilet rolls. Some people's fear is stronger than others.
Now, if you're a lady who likes to shop for all the latest fashions, or one of the other 391 genders for that matter, what do you do at a time like this? Creative is the word, and you can't get more creative than Flavia Flannel.
Thank you, news team. Yes, I'm still here in my isolation bar. Flavia Flannel is still here with all your fashion tips. So stay tuned, fashion friends. In fact, I've had a handy idea today while having a little drink. See the ring pull? Ta-da! A double hanger storage solution. Oh, by the way, I'm not medium large, no, I'm small. And while you're doing the wardrobe out, how about you make yourself a nice quarantini? Cheers, news team. See you soon.
Cheers, Flavia. We now go over to our chief medical correspondent, Frank Washburn, for an update on the virus. How are things, Frank?
Things are getting a little bit crazy here, Steve. All I asked was for a little bit of time on my own, a little bit of space to gather my thoughts. But no, Frank wanted to talk to me. Constantly. He wouldn't shut up. I mean, Frank's a nice guy, but he worked away a lot. I didn't really see him that much until all this shit rained in on us. He's been home for 3 days. 3 whole days. A woman needs her peace and quiet, Steve. Frank's gone now, which means quiet. Peace and quiet. Listen.
Oh dear, things don't seem to be going that well in the Washburn household, do they? Now, as a channel, we've collectively had to make certain sacrifices to keep things rolling along. But what about people out there whose sacrifices are far greater? We spoke to WWN composer Danny Fontaine at his home.
I composed all the music for worldwide news output. From headline news to sport to that religious show they put out on Sunday night that no one actually watches. I did it all. And when it plays, I get paid. But not now. And that really pisses me off. Do you know how hard it is for a composer at times like this? I mean, self-isolation. That's my life. I sit in this room all day, most of the night, creating magic for your ears. I'm always locked in permanent self-isolation. I'm an expert. Viewers hearing my music creates more work for me. You know, they hear stuff I wrote and they think, oh, I love that theme to that travel show or that cookery show. Let's see who wrote it and we'll hire him to write some dark sounds for this new horror movie I'm writing about a maniac with 2 penises. You know the one. Believe me, it happened. This whole mess has had a huge knock-on effect to me, and it's It's just killing me. If it gets any worse, I'm going to have to write radio jingles. And I'd actually rather die in a steaming vat of wallpaper paste before I did that.
That was our in-house composer, Danny Fontaine, with his struggles at the moment. Now, if, like me, you're staying home and catching up on all those box sets you've missed out on, well, you can become a little lazy and maybe just put on a few extra pounds. So, let's go over to Samantha Hayes with some exercising tips.
Hi guys, and welcome to my home. In times like these, we can all fall into the depths of laziness, which can cause havoc with your mind and with your body. So, why not follow me for a few minutes? Let's get those energy levels up and those bodies moving. Okay, so we're just going to start up with a march, a little bit of mobility, so taking those shoulder rolls up, all the way to the ears, and roll back, and then change to forwards. Good. Okay, now with these knees, let's just take them a little bit higher. We're going to be going down to the mat in a second, doing some core, and then we'll bring it back up. Okay, now from here, side step it out. Good, just do me 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. From there into heel lift with the bicep curl. Again, nice and light, we're just warming up slightly, getting those heart rates up. Squeeze at the top. Woo! Keep it going. Okay, we're going to take some deep breaths in. And reach at the top and down. And then again, back nice and neutral. 2 more times through. And then 1 more here. Good, okay, let's just give everything a little bit of a shake. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so if you haven't got a mat, don't worry. We have got to improvise under the circumstances. So if you haven't, you can always use a towel or your carpet. So from here, we're just going to do some basic crunches. Assist behind the head if needs to, or just relax at the temples. I'm just going to lift up, trying to get those shoulder blades up off the mat. Okay, are you all following me? Just give me a few more here. Breathing out on the effort. Again, not pulling and straining on the chin, on the back of the head. Keep pulling through. You're not following me, are you? You're not following me, are you? Let's face it. You're probably all there, sitting, eating your beans, your pot noodles, and doing whatever you're doing with toilet roll. Starting to feel that way myself. Can't go out. Full of distractions everywhere. And I've not touched a cake in quite a while, and I'm starting to be moving towards that, thinking about cake, dreaming about cake, talking about cake. Might as well just eat cake, really. May as well, haven't I? What's the point? Back to the studio. I've got something in the teeth.
Whew, thanks, Sam. I don't know about you, but I feel better already. Somebody else who feels better is Craig Richards. Craig?
And with that, it's back to the studio.
Well, thanks for having breakfast with us this morning. Hope you can join us all again tomorrow for another show, as we've really enjoyed your company. I'm Steve Hamilton. Have a great day.
This is the news. Breaking news. If you don't want to die, don't go outside. Find something else to do. In a place where nobody will cough on you. Breaking news. On lockdown, ghost town, all the pubs are closed down. Oh, what can we do? Throw on some tunes and have a brew. Don't be a fool. Show some restraint. Keep your distance and self-isolate. When it has grown I've got a kangaroo, a shoebox canoe. Don't be faithful around, show some restraint. Keep your distance and self-isolate. When it has blown over, we'll look back in a while. We'll say we survived Corona and we did a smile. Breaking news, do-da-do-da-do-do. Breaking news, do-da-do-da-do-da-do. Breaking news, do-da-do-da-do-do.